Hi, this is Dr. Mark Hyman. Welcome to my weekly house call, your chance to ask me your questions. And this week's question is, hey doc, I have irritable bowel. What do I do about it? My stomach's always killing me. I'm bloated and miserable. Can you help me? Well, the answer is yes. In fact, the whole way we think about irritable bowel is completely wrong. And I'm going to tell you what the right way to think about it is. When I went to medical school, I learned that irritable bowel was a psychological condition, that people were crazy, anxious, those annoying patients you don't want to see or asking for drugs. Those are the ones who had irritable bowel, that it was a psychosomatic condition. But you know what? Our science is telling us that's completely wrong, that the root causes of irritable bowel, which now affects 60 million people, right? That's about 1 out of every 5 people in America. Crazy, right? Are suffering from irritable bowel, and yet we have no good treatments. The doctor says, well, take more Metamucil, eat a little more fiber. Does it really work? No. Why? Because they're not dealing with the root cause. Functional medicine is about treating the root cause. It's about treating the system. It's about treating the organism, not the organ. So in irritable bowel syndrome, what do we know? We know that there's a few big drivers. One is an imbalance in our microbiome. That's that huge collection of bacteria that live inside our gut. There's about 3 pounds of it, a lot. You're full of it, really. And there's also about 10 times as many bacterial cells as your own cells and 100 times as much bacterial DNA as your own DNA. That's, let's say, 20,000 genes for human. That's 2 million genes for the bugs. They win. So we need to keep them happy and healthy. And when those bugs get out of balance, you get sick. You get bloating, you get distension, you get gas, you get diarrhea, you get constipation, or worse, you get inflammatory bowel disease, which is even a more severe continuum from irritable bowel. And you know what? We can actually get our inner garden healthy by tending it properly. We can eat the right foods. We can not eat the wrong foods. We can take the right nutrients, the right prebiotics, probiotics, all of which help create a healthy inner garden. For some people, it's really important to treat that directly. So let me just go there for a minute. If you have what we call small bowel or small intestinal bacterial overgrowth, that means the bacteria migrate up from the large intestine into the small intestine. Basically, when you eat food, the bacteria are right there in your small intestine and they start fermenting it. Humans don't create gas. Bugs create gas. So when you get that food baby, you know what I'm talking about, when your stomach pooches out like that, you basically are getting fermentation from the bacteria. So often you need to kill those. You can do it with herbs, or you can do it with a non-absorbed antibiotic called rifaximin, which I found very helpful. But you also have to treat yeast overgrowth, which comes from all the antibiotics and processed food we eat. And that actually can be done with an antifungal or antifungal herbs. We also need to get rid of the food allergens. What are those? Things like gluten, dairy, processed foods. All these can irritate the gut, and we need to do often an elimination diet. So an elimination diet, getting rid of the bad bugs, I call it getting rid of the bad stuff. That helps. And then you got to put in the good stuff. Prebiotics, probiotics, enzymes, nutrients like vitamin A, glutamine, zinc. These are all helpful in repairing the gut lining, or what we call leaky gut. And you know what? Leaky gut affects so many people. In fact, gut issues are not just contained in your gut. They can cause depression, arthritis, cancer. They can cause autoimmune disease. They can cause dementia even. They can cause heart disease, diabetes, obesity. All can come from imbalances in your gut. So learning how to take care of your gut is not just for those with irritable bowel syndrome. It's for everybody. So we've learned how to fix your irritable bowel by getting rid of the bad stuff and putting the good stuff in. But the question remains, how did our gut get so messed up in the first place? Well, it's a combination of things. First, it's the increase in rate of C-sections, so babies don't have their gut colonized with the good flora from the mother's vaginal tract. And it's our gut-busting drugs, the antibiotics, the acid blockers, the anti-inflammatories, the steroids, on and on, hormones. So many drugs are gut-busting drugs, and they disturb the environment in our gut that create disease. So we've got to get rid of those gut-busting drugs, and we've also got to look at our food supply. Our food supply is so high in sugar and processed foods, so low in fiber. We used to eat about 50 to 100 grams of fiber for every American, and now we eat about 8. That's almost nothing. And we eat no fruits and vegetables, tons of processed food, and all that doesn't provide a good environment for the gut. doesn't feed the bugs in the gut, doesn't create a healthy inner garden. So by understanding what drugs affect you, by learning how to populate your gut with healthy bacteria, by eating the right foods, by getting them the right prebiotics and probiotics, the right supplements to help your gut get fixed, you can fix your irritable bowel, you can heal a leaky gut, and you can get healthy again. And it happens so often, so easily for so many of my patients that I get mad that people don't have this answer. And so I've created a special guide for you, a free ebook on how to solve this problem for yourself, because I bet you your doctors aren't doing a great job. And it's called the Irritable Bowel Solution. It's downloadable free right here underneath this video in the link. And it provides all the tools and resources and guides on what to eat, what supplements to take, and how to fix your irritable bowel for good. So I hope you enjoyed this video. I'd love to know about your story, about irritable bowel, how it's affected you, what's worked, what hasn't worked for you. So share with us on drhyman.com. And if you enjoyed this video, sign up for our weekly newsletter so you can get my Dr. Hyman house call every single week. And share it with your friends on Facebook and Twitter and your social media channels, and help everybody else learn about how to fix their health problems, because I believe everybody should be empowered to fix their health issues. And if you have a question, please submit your question on drhyman.com so next week I may make a house call to you.